Alright, I'm well aware of everyone's dislike of the Call of Duty franchise, and most of them are perfectly valid points considering loot boxes and supply crates and all those things. But I have a very specific reason as to why I'd want this to happen. Two words: portable zombies. Now, for the sake of explaining myself in this video, I'm going to assume you know very little about the Call of Duty franchise. Maybe you're someone who plays primarily Nintendo consoles and doesn't really touch the games. Everyone knows about the Call of Duty games due to the big boom of popularity from Call of Duty 4 in 2007. However, a large amount of this was tied to its multiplayer and pretty good campaign. However, neither of those two things really called out to me back then, and I honestly couldn't tell you why. It took the Call of Duty game that released a year after, Call of Duty World at War, that grabbed my attention. I was given World at War as a gift, and I found it interesting enough that I generally didn't play shooters other than Halo around the time, and so a historically based one was new to me. Despite so many other games doing that exact same setting, to the point where people were starting to get tired of it. If there was anything in this game that made me fall in love with it, however, it was the extra Zombies mode. The Zombies mode blew up, and before I knew it, people I knew only bought Call of Duty games for the Zombies mode. Call of Duty, if you didn't already know, was developed by three different developers. They have Treyarch, who's my personal favorite. They are the developers behind World at War, Black Ops, and are the original creators of the Zombies mode itself. Infinity Ward, who created the Modern Warfare games, and I'm pretty sure is considered the favorite between the Call of Duty community. And finally, Sledgehammer, who is the newest developer here and only developed Advanced Warfare and the recently released World War II. The reason I explain all of this is pretty simple. After Treyarch's successful Zombies mode, the other two developer companies had to kind of create their own bonus mode. I mean, Treyarch had officially set the three-part system of Call of Duty: campaign, multiplayer, and bonus. And for years, they have tried with varying levels of success. Modern Warfare 2 by Infinity Ward had Spec Ops, a mission-based co-op mode, which I think was their best attempt. Modern Warfare 3 had a weird sort of horde mode with regular soldiers and helicopters and infantry and stuff like that. It was almost as if they wanted to combine zombies with Spec Ops, and honestly, it just didn't work out for me at all. Eventually, Infinity Ward would create an Aliens mode in Call of Duty Ghosts, seemingly inspired by zombies as well. However, in recent games, both Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer has opted to create their own zombies mode. While I haven't tried Sledgehammer zombies, I can say that, at the very least, Infinity Ward's just wasn't good. Treyarch has been, at least in my opinion, remained consistent with zombies between games. Black Ops 3 was Treyarch's latest zombies and possibly their last one if what they say is to be believed. But this explanation isn't the focus of this video, rather why I want to see zombies on the Nintendo Switch. I can't really begin to explain how much I personally love Treyarch's zombies. It encourages skilled team play, the story is as ludicrous as an episode of Doctor Who, but with tons more blood and gore involved, and the characters are funny enough that I still remember some of their quotes after playing. So, having all of this fun portably on the Switch was something I was hoping for earlier in the year when the console released, and knowing a Call of Duty game with zombies was releasing as well. The history of Call of Duty Zombies varies with both Nintendo and portability, and is partially shared, but simply put, all I wanted was a dedicated system to play portable zombies, and I've been looking for quite some time. So, let's talk about that. My first personal experience with this was an app on the Apple App Store. I don't know if that's what it's actually called, but God help me. Simply titled Call of Duty Zombies. It recreated the entire zombies mode of the original Call of Duty World at War, and while it was okay, it was sort of difficult to play considering you had to play primarily with touch controls, which isn't ideal. Next iteration of a portable zombies we saw was in Call of Duty Black Ops, which released on the Nintendo DS. But there was some glaring issues with this version. Due to the limited DS hardware, both controls and content was lacking. With only a D-pad equipped, controlling an FPS is difficult, and the zombies mode there didn't recreate the mode from the main console versions, and instead opted to make one single new map with no ties to the story whatsoever. So it was heavily gutted and just not fun to play. So, two attempts of portable zombies, and both had their problems. Both had control issues, for instance. I was honestly disappointed, but saw hope with the PlayStation Vita. And yes, God help me, I know the Vita wasn't exactly a success, but at the time it seemed capable enough and was getting a Call of Duty game in the form of Call of Duty Black Ops Declassified, a game by Treyarch. Considering that this was a portable version of a Treyarch Call of Duty game, I thought this would finally be the game, finally be it. It had the Vita had 2 sticks for first-person shooter games, and with other games on it that were also first-person shooters, it just seemed capable enough to handle a zombies mode. However, that didn't happen, as they didn't put a zombies mode into the game at all. At this point, I just felt like this mode was just simply going to remain something to play at home. It wasn't going to be anything I would ever see on a portable console, because every opportunity they've had, they either fucked it up or they just simply don't do it. With the Nintendo Switch being announced and getting third-party titles like Skyrim, I was starting to become a bit hopeful that Call of Duty on the Switch could finally be my ticket to playing zombies on the go, especially when you remember that Call of Duty games did actually appear on even the Wii U. Call of Duty World War II released recently, and sadly it was confirmed a long time ago in the year, so excuse me, that it wouldn't come to the Switch, which added to my past disappointment. Even if World War II Zombies is not developed by Treyarch, it would still be better than having what it is currently available. See, normally each of these 3 developers take turns each year to release their Call of Duty game, giving each one of them 3 years to develop their game. 2018 is the year Treyarch will be back to release their game, and my hope is that they return with their superior version of Zombies and release it on the Nintendo Switch after the Switch has proven itself. The Switch is selling like crazy out there. It's selling massive. And I read an article not too long ago claiming that the Switch might actually sell the Wii U this holiday. That's insanely fast. And I'm not really a salesperson. I don't understand this thing. I don't understand these kind of things, and I'm not going to go into detail about that. But my point is that Treyarch, let's make this shit happen. There's so many inferior versions of portable zombies and so many systems that could have had it. But let's get this down packed now. Put your Call of Duty game on the Switch and return with zombies. This is something I've been asking for years. Zombies has been a thing for over 8, 9, I believe, maybe even a decade of my life just playing this mode. And it's been just a riot of fun. And yes, it's not exactly Nintendo based, so I understand you guys might bring up, oh, loot boxes, Call of Duty sucks, so, whatever it may be. And that's perfectly valid. You all have your opinions and your reasons for doing so, and a lot of them are, like I said, perfectly valid. But it's just this one mode. This one mode is just fantastic. And I feel like too many people overlook it because it is part of a franchise with such a huge amount of stigma that no one wants to give a shit about it. And even the fans of Call of Duty just don't pay attention to it because they're too focused on multiplayer. It is an overlooked huge part of the game, and to be honest, it is the only redeemable part of Call of Duty left. So, Treyarch, come on. Let's make this shit happen. I'll be the first guy to buy your game on the Switch, if that is the case. That's all I really got for this video. I realize this video may not mean much for most of the Nintendo fan base, and my channel is basically a Nintendo channel. But if a ton of you guys can wish for a new Animal Crossing or Smash, I just thought I could wish for something that really nobody I know is asking for. I understand Call of Duty is pretty much hated everywhere, and for good reason, but consider this one of my guilty pleasures. Talk to you guys until my next video. Later.